Hello my friends, Green Energy here, back with more Dark Souls 2. We left off, we took care of the remainder of the Forest of the Fallen Giants, with an exception of a small area that we're going to have to go back to anyways. I want to see... Looks like we can level up. We should go ahead and head back to Majula and take care of that real quick before we take on our first boss. Beautiful landscape of Majula. Might get a level or 2 here. We're getting 2. I want to get my dexterity up to 15. Once we get the dexterity to 15, I'm probably going to move my health up to 20 before I put something towards something else. The 2 fights we're about to have with these bosses are definitely going to help me get up there for that soul count. We want to get our health up there. So we are about to take on our first boss of Dark Souls 2. To get there is quite simple. Once you've opened up this door, do not let him kick your butt. To unfortunately use a life gem. But then we're going to take this elevator down. There is a turtle man on the other side. There's 2 lifts. Once you take this one down, that one goes up. He will stay on that lift unless you send this one down and stay up there. We do have a Hollow Knight right here next to a door that we're going to be coming back to very far in the future. Take care of him, and then once you get to the fog wall, looks like we're going to be able to use 2 NPC summons to take on our first boss. They aren't necessary to fight the bosses, especially this one. They add a little more fun, makes you feel a little more relaxed, like you have some friends with you. It also does make this game a heck of a lot easier. And since I'm not a sorcerer, I don't feel bad about it. Now have our first boss, known as the Last Giant. Now it's worth noting that Sellsword Luet, who we will have a few times as a summoner in this game, is very much just a defensive character. What he does do, despite not having a weapon to do much damage, he does get the attention of the bosses pretty well. The Last Giant just has some swipes and stomps in his first phase. We get to the second one, he's actually going to rip off one of his arms and use that as a sword. Ooh. Got stomped there. He's yanking off his arm. How's that feel, buddy? Kind of just skateboarded across the arena there. See how our summons control his aggro, take his attention away from me. I do a decent amount of the damage, just to play it safe. He's never backed into this corner before. There is boss number 1. Right after most of the battles, these guys are just going to summon away. They're going to leave us be. we got our soldier key to open up a few doors that we couldn't before. One of those doors not being this one. Now we can take our lift back up. We'll see Turtle Dude here in just a second. There he goes. And we'll go ahead and run up. Just ignore the Hollow Knight. Run up to the bonfire. And we will actually run back and upgrade our stats real quick just to help us with our next boss. Our next boss will be one of the true tests of strength in this game. It's one of the few boss battles that doesn't have any summons, so you do need to learn how to actually fight him properly. Let's get our health up to 20, and then we'll probably get our endurance up to 15, possibly 20 along with it. Head back to the Cardinal Tower. So that we can get ready for our next battle with the Pursuer. But we're going to clear a few areas before we go down there. Damn. Keep chipping that wall and it messes me up. That guy. But here's one of the doors that our soldier key opens. Straight over here. We'll have the Ring of Restoration and 3 torches. Ring of Restoration is very useful, especially in the early game. Remember, our life ring is raising our maximum HP. Our Ring of Restoration, if you notice a little glowing around my character right now, it's going very slow, but it ever so slightly raises my HP gradually. Especially in the early game when we don't have lots of health anyways, it does help us out. Right outside here, we have that big knight. He's actually not going to attack us unless we attack him first. And we're just going to leave him alone for now. We need a special ring to open up that door. Don't believe this is a mimic. Rubbish. Kind of a lot of nothing. Once we have done that, another door that it opens, we're not going to go into this area yet because some of the enemies in there can mess us up, so I save it for the later game. We can also open this door and go check out that area, but we're going to come back later. We do have to come back here to do a certain thing towards the end of the game, so we'll be coming back. This room right here, got this guy. We might have another one over here. Nope, just an item. Another life gem and another shield. Let's check out our shields real quick to make sure we're still using what's best in our inventory. So we'll make sure our sword is good. I'm going to assume that it is. We're going to be sticking with this fire sword for quite a while. 75, 60. This one's 90, so I think we're going to switch to this one to help us out just a little bit more with our physical defense. I recommend going into the doorway and then backing up because these guys are going to come after you every time. Out of here, son. Good year. I'm just saying that, because our souls are at 17. Oh. Used up too much of my stamina there. Take out Turtle Man. We'll be taking a trip back to the bonfire to get our extra Estus back before our boss battle. We have a couple things I want to grab. We're going to grab that item in just a second, but once you go up the sword far enough, these guys are actually going to come down after you. It's easier and a lot safer to fight these guys down here. Now that they're down, grab soul item and the halberd. Don't think the halberd is an upgrade for us. Where's it at? Yeah, 122. It's actually not very good because our strength is not at 20 yet. So we'll grab this item and then we're gonna go rest at our bonfire again. 2,000 souls might get us a level, so I'm going to save the trip back to Majula until after our boss battle. Let's go get our extra Estus, because this next battle is a touch bit harder than the first one. Once you learn our next boss's moveset, he's not super tough. But if you've never played the game before or it's been a while, it's good to take a few practices. And I have played this game recently, so not getting those cheap shots on me. We'll see if the Halberd Knight will come after us. He might, but let's take the risk. Might regret it later, but let's take the risk now. Well, I didn't regret it, but he didn't stay over there. So the Pursuer was that big knight that was dropped by the crow over in that one area that we ignored. We need the soldier key from the last giant in order to take on the Pursuer. He's got these little knights that we're going to see a lot of very shortly. I think he's got 3 of these guys. One's dropping down from the staircase right now. Their big swords do make them a little slow, but they still do decent damage, especially for early game. Take care of him. We're going to have one more that we're actually going to bait to come down here, because there's an archer up to the right, and we want a fair fight. Even though one would argue it's not a fair fight, because we are a lot smarter than some of these guys. We got our archer up there to the right. He's going to shoot the ground. Take care of him. Another soul item with life gems. Try to jump up there for funsies. But as you notice, right before the boss arena, you don't see any summon signs. So you gotta do this one on your own unless another player decides to put their summon sign right down here. We're gonna be doing this mano a mano. does that move, I always move to the right. For those ones, you move right under that last swipe. Recommend backing up for the first ones. Just kind of got to keep picking at him. You can actually use these giant ballistas behind me, as long as he doesn't destroy them, to kill them. But I'm not very good at it, so we're going to do it this way. Ballistas do a decent amount of damage too. So if you're willing to risk trying to get that, you have to get him in a certain position and possibly even parry him, I think, in order to get a good shot at him. The stab, you just gotta dodge to the side. Risk getting a little more damage there. That might cost me. We're gonna save our stamina. Woo. We're gonna need more room than that. Got some damage on us there. I'm gonna pop an Estus real quick. Couple more hits ought to do it. Just one. Victory achieved. For that ballista, I believe if you get a nice parry on him right here, you can get the ballista to hit him by shooting it. You just walk up behind it, click X or A, and let it rip. But I'm not very good at parrying in the Dark Souls trilogy or in Bloodborne, so you won't see much of that with me. Take out those guys for another halberd. And then from there, I recommend coming over here, because we have a couple items, but I think we're down here out of reach beforehand. Drangleic shield, mail, gauntlets, and leggings, and then the Drangleic sword. Right down there is our turtle man. We are going to sprint past him. As long as we didn't miss anything up here. Which I don't think we did. He thinks he's going to run all the way around and get us. It's not going to be the case. We are too quick for him. Alright. So a little secret path that we have up here is we can actually take the crow that was pulling the pursuer around to an area that we're not supposed to be at for a little while, but we're only going to go there to open up a couple things and get a couple items, and then we're going to come right back. And when I say right back, I actually mean we're going to be going to Majula to rank up using our souls, and then move on to our next area that we should be going to. That guy just kind of looked like, whoa. Lost Bastille. If you want to skip a chunk of the game, you can go start conquering the area from here, but it will be very difficult. You can light this bonfire. But if you look at the levels here, I guess it doesn't switch. It's supposed to be down a row. We got this big dude over here. That's a good punch. And then all I wanted to do was open this door right here. Because we will be coming back to that area very shortly. I don't think we can get back to the bonfire, so I may have to use a homeward bone. Because I don't think I can jump over this. Not the case. You could go through that area, I believe, and get there that way, but we're just going to use a homeward bone. From here, we'll head back to Majula. Now, for those who were following me when I did my first Dark Souls playthrough, they noticed that I didn't use Dark Lord Souls in order to get special weapons. That changes for this game. I actually know how to do it. We're going to check out the weapons, and if I'm not interested in using them, then I will be spending these for upgrading. But in the meantime, we are saving those for the weapons. Use the other souls we find, though. Even though they're not providing much in currency for us. Alright. Let's get that to 20. Let's try to get that towards 20. Down to 3 souls. Not upgrading anything right now. So now we'll head to the bonfire for our next area before we wrap stuff up for today. This is a contraption that we are going to actually ask an NPC that's going to come here very shortly to open, because it kind of shuffles the wall around to close off that area and open up this one. But we are going this way first anyways. Nothing there. I have a chest right up here to our left. Open sesame. Don't remember what that does. It's also not in my inventory. Oh, we got a ring I didn't notice. Not sure. We do have a ring that'll increase our physical attack, so we'll put that one on. Since we can have up to 4 rings now. Dark Souls 3 works in the same way once we get to that game as well. If we were coming from the opposite way, because that's actually going to shut. If we're coming back and you don't want to teleport for some reason, you can pull this switch right here and it's going to open it. Another soul item and another weapon. And now we are at Hyde's Tower of Flame. Now, until we fight a certain boss, these guys will not be hostile unless you attack them first. I recommend just leaving them be until we defeat the boss. There's a boss over in that tower, and then a boss over in that giant tower. We're going to be hitting that one first, because we can get a nice summon right outside to help us make our way over there. Now these big guys are quite the doozy. The ones with the swords and shields are way easier to take down. There's a few that have more special weapons, and they can pack quite a punch. They're easier to dodge, or they're tougher to dodge. But our bonfire is right down here. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, let me know what you enjoyed in the comments, and if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. Otherwise, continue being good people and spread positive vibes. Take care.